Welcome to the AACS Daily News. Area residents celebrated the memory of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. yesterday in both a municipal ceremony and an interfaith service. This year's theme focused on economic justice. We spoke with Ethel Garvin of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Committee of Greater Attleboro.
Today, the committee is celebrating its 32nd annual commemoration of the Dr. King holiday. Events start here today at 1 p.m. at the Attleboro City Hall, where we will have a featured performance by the Attleboro High School Select Choir, and then we have words and remarks by our local politicians. That program lasts about a half hour, and then we'll move on to our interfaith service at 2 p.m. at Murray Unitarian Universalist Church. There we'll have a liturgy, a service program led by clergy, and then our featured presentation will be a King cantata. We've selected words from Dr. King that speak to his thoughts and desires about economic justice. And those words will be set to music. And so we have cantata readers, we have Caroline Harvey, who is a spoken word artist, coming. We have a local member of the community, a former city council member, Max Volterra, will be speaking. And then we have performances by Jacqueline Schwab, who is probably known for being featured on the soundtrack to the Civil War, Ken Burns' documentary, The Civil War. And then we have a great soloist by the name of Stacy Gear, and we have a wind quartet. So it's going to be a nice mix of Dr. King's words with a variety of different kinds of music. It's so important to keep Dr. King's words and his actions in our collective memory because they still resonate with us today, and it would be ashamed if we forgot them. His words are still alive and quick, and he's an excellent model for a worker. He wasn't just a dreamer, he was a worker, he was a doer, he was a servant leader, and I think that's just a model for all of us to continue to emulate.
So even today, we see a resurgence of white nationalism and xenophobia. This is all over the news. We see members of the LGBT community discriminated against, with most recent members of the transgender community discriminated against. And I often like to remind people that it was not about bathroom safety today any more than it was about the health of water fountains in the 1960s. So in conclusion, Dr. King's legacy is part of a continuum of a struggle for equality. If there is one thing that we can learn from history, it is that there is always more to be done.
Can a nonviolent direct action movement find application on the international level to confront economic and political problems? I believe it can. It is clear to me that the next stage of the movement is to become international. The dispossessed of this nation, the poor, both white and Negro, live in a cruelly unjust society. They must organize a revolution against that injustice, not against the lives of the persons who are their fellow citizens, but against the structures through which the society is refusing to take means which have been called for and which are at hand to lift the load of poverty. We will place the problems of the poor at the seat of government of the wealthiest nation in the history of mankind. If that power refuses to acknowledge its debt to the poor, it will have failed to live up to its promise to ensure life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness to its citizens.